hopefully you were with us last time when we started this kind of segment of Patch It called tentatively, or not so tentatively, now pretty much permanently, the 10-gallon patch. We are kind of going to pick up where we left off, kind of with these specific sort of cable things going on here. We started kind of just getting a basic kind of delay type VCO sound into our Submix 7, and then we had one kind of input over here from our Hertz Donut going into our Optomix. I do have the system off right now, and I turned it off intentionally. So now we're going to switch it back on and see where we were. Here we go. Okay, so this is kind of where we left off last time. Okay, so let's just keep building the patch, and then as we go along, we'll kind of try to fine-tune it a little more. All right. So I'm going to take my LFO over here, and I'm just going to take a triangle, a Model 37, and I'm just going to bring up this VCA, the one that's kind of doing that kind of sound over here. Hopefully we'll get some kind of sound like that. And I may need to solo that just so I can figure out where it's at. Kind of fading in, fading out. There we go, let me slow it down a little bit. Let's wait for that upward angle. There we go. All right. Now, I want to add some kind of noise to this because we're doing a lot of sort of VCO and pitch type sound, and I just kind of want to maybe add a little bit of variety to it. So I have a couple of options here. I have my noise ring, and I also have my Heisenberg generator. We don't really hear too much of this, so I'm actually going to try and take some of the noise from here. We're going to patch it over into our Optomix. There we go. So that's our digital noise. And then we had this envelope from our maths over here, so I'm going to actually take that. I'm going to feed this second VCA. Hopefully this will give us something pleasing rather than percussive. If not, we'll just use channel 4 of maths. And there, not really digging that sound. Let's try something else. I'll try channel 4. Bring control up. Can hear it there just a little bit. Bring down my attack. Adjust my tone a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Kind of like those two mixed together. Bring this up. Okay, so it's sort of starting to build up a little bit. All right. Now that we're on the subject, let's actually take, we've got a few options here. We have lots of modulation possibilities. Let me actually take one of these guys. These are triggers coming out of my shuffling clock multiplier. Actually multiplications of that incoming clock. So I'm going to take one of those over, and I'm going to go into my mod seek over here. I'm not going to play too much with the CVs or a mic, but let's just see what we can get to happen, if anything interesting. And so this is basically a sequencer right here, and we're just going to kind of patch it out and then feed it to something, and let's see what we can get kind of interesting happening. So let's start maybe over here in the key in of the Borg filter and just see. kind of like that. Let's see what happens if we go a little faster. Yeah, I like that. That worked out nicely. Now, if I didn't mention it before, let's see, we're in channel 4 of the maths. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But we're on channel 4 of the maths, and I took the output from here. And this is basically operating in cycle mode. So what I did was I basically taking a CV signal out from there and going into my second VCA, which is kind of causing that sort of shifting digital noise, kind of going up and then back down in amplitude. So just in case you missed that or I didn't explain it, I don't want you to miss out. All right, so now let's see if we can get some more interesting things happening. So we still have the second VCO over here, but we also have something a little more exotic in the Swayman module. We have an audio rate random generator, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to take this saw out over here, and let's just listen to it so we can kind of decide how we want to incorporate this. It's kind of a standard saw, or what you would expect. So a lot of different ways I can kind of adjust that. I'm just adjusting here to ear to hear what I like. Okay. So what I'm planning now is I'm going to take one of these over here, and then I'm going to send that over to pressure points so we can get that sort of moving. And for those of you who don't know, pressure points is of course a sequencer. So let's see, do I want it to go fast or do I want it to go slow? I'm going to take the bottom multiplication, which looks like times 8, and we're going to go to the clock input. So you should be able to see that the lights are kind of moving, which means that it's sending out voltages. You should be able to see that right there. Okay, now we need to do something with those voltages, so what I'm thinking is let's take those voltages and pop them over to here and see if we can affect pitch of the saws that are coming out. And I think I can do that by going into clock rate. Hopefully. If not, then we'll just try and change it up. Okay, now that's good, but it's a little bit maybe too repetitive for what we got going on right now. Look, we got that going over here. So let's actually do maybe this. I know we've had this element going for a while, but let me take that out. This is our Hertz donut. I'm going to pipe this in instead. Nice. So we'll just have it periodically fade in and out. That's kind of nice. So now maybe we can do something with the Hertz donut, maybe a little bit later. But for now, we're just kind of going to continue on this sort of path that we're on right now. All right. So now let's see what other sound sources we can kind of utilize here. We have a lot of possibilities over there. We have pressure points, voltage possibilities. So I want to actually go and use my second VCO over here. Let's take this output here, and I may need to adjust the range of this oscillator, but I'm just going to patch it into the submix so I can hear what it sounds like. I just want to make sure I'm in the audio rate. I'm just going to possibly just use that as a drum. Let me change the wave shape and see if I get something I like better. I kind of like that one. Let's stick with that. Drop some cables in case you're wondering. Alright, so let's see if we can sort of modify that without getting the second VCO too crazy. So I'm going to take this LFO that I have here, and I'm going to go out. I'm going to try and feed it. I'm not going to go into the 1 volt per octave, so I don't necessarily want notes, but let me just try the CV input here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let me adjust the polarity of that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're doing fine. Now, let's see if we can get our second sound source, which we had over there. And we had that Hertz donut. So let's actually use the one in the middle, patching out from there, and I'm going to go into my Formant filter right here. And let's take that out and go over into our Submix 7 again. So we can hear what that sounds like. Kind of play with our settings on our Formant filter. So that definitely has some potential right there. So what I'm going to try is to see if I can't get something interesting from one of these rows from the pressure points. So I'm piping that out from there, the second row of voltages, into here. Now let me adjust my voltages. I think what I might actually like a little bit better than just 4 voltages going in is I might want to actually mold the mod seat. Take that into my size over here. There we go. Okay. Now, just for a little bit of variety, I am going to do something with the second row of voltages. I'm going to actually take it into, say, I think I saw some activity when I moved this. So I'm going to actually pipe these voltages into here. And just to verify that I'm not hearing things, why don't we actually see if we can get that audible again. So I have that going into my Optomix. Let me turn these down temporarily. I'll actually just unpatch this for a second so I know I'm only hearing the saw wave right there. So now we're back to silence. Oh, great. I hear a lot of activity there. Actually unpatch my modulation. So I kind of find that little happy area. I'm basically just looking right now for a parameter. It might be worth modulating here. Let's try that one. So that is slope. So I'm going to take that out for the slope. Try some different settings. I'm just adjusting settings. Trying to get something interesting. Okay. Let's bring our modulation source back. And then bring this back. So now we have our digital noise back in there. And then we should have that kind of fading back in here in a second. Alright, so that's where we are right now. We're going to go ahead and pause again, and then we'll pick this up in part 3. We don't have too much more ground to cover over here, but we might kind of go in and sort of finesse the patch until we get something that I'm happy with. Hopefully that you found this useful so far. So next, we'll just take it to the next step. So again, thanks for watching. This patch is, again, the 10-gallon patch, and we'll be continuing it next time. So thanks for watching. I'm Raul, and see you next time.